bored. I'm full bored.
This was around.
It is called Video Game Popular Game Bad? Question mark. Okay then. What gives? Okay, that's pretty good. Makes me curious. Like make me curious why the games are making it better. Or what's it called?
This was around 2014.
Oh yeah, the Minecraft is. That was a bit before, like, you know, Dream and then Dream Stands. And of the games, one of them is Minecraft, Among Us, and Fortnite. But I don't know the one game that's so popular, Friday Night Funkin'. Those come from 2020.
Popular thing bad. Since the dawn of time, video game developers have had one goal: make good game. But what happens if game too good? And game gets popular to the point where admitting you play it is like admitting you eat Tupperware for fun. When something gets
You eat something at your microwave.
Too popular, it can really affect how it's viewed by the public. Now, the term too popular is very much a subjective statement, so I like to use what I call the name test. And that's simply, is it funny to say the name of it? For example, if I say Super Mario 64, there's not much of a reaction. However, if I say Among Us, now I'm not saying that popular games are bad.
Yeah, it is. And people don't know, everyone is like, it was down. The sound is like, you see something Among Us, everyone laughs. But if a game title, any game, there's no one actually responding to you, there's no joke.
Mostly, because I mean, they're popular for a reason, but too much popularity can mean that they're seen as a joke. The best way to describe this phenomenon is this little show you might have heard of. It's called Squid Game. Now, this may not be a game, but it is Squid, so that's something. Squid Game is one of the best shows on Netflix, and honestly one of the best shows I've ever seen. If somehow you don't know what it is, which kind of defeats the whole point of this video, so fuck you. Basically, a whole bunch of people struggling with debt get invited to the Squid Game, where they must compete in different games and be the last one standing to win
the one standing, 400k yen.
45.6 billion won. Except the twist is, if you die in the game, you die in real life. This series is filled with twists and constantly keeps you wanting to watch more. And when paired with some of the best acting I've ever seen, really makes this show perfect.
Hello.
And the story behind the making of this series is really impressive, and it's crazy how popular it became worldwide, considering how there were no particularly big names associated with it. The ideas and premise of this show is so interesting, and it really deserves to be as popular as it is. However, what the fuck is this?
I got RPGX with Moist Pinnacle.
This series got so popular that it invaded every piece of media on the internet. Minecraft Squid Game, Fortnite Squid Game, Not Quite Squid Game, Mr. Beast Squid Game, and if you dared traverse the extremely controversial site known as Roblox during the last quarter of 2021,
this is somehow more scary.
All of this caused Squid Game to be seen as a joke by a large majority of the internet, which is a shame because it's so good. Please watch it. I promise it's not about square characters jumping across a circle for 15 minutes. Now, Squid Game is not the only victim of this, because this happened to another small indie game called Fortnite.
Fortnite or FNF or Friday Night Funkin'. This is a small game in that a bit, and then how to do this? Hold on, let me just do this. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and after Friday Night Funkin' game, also the mod community, the free single mods, and how to say this?
Children, and how I'm not even gonna without the history of this. It was killed, took over, and was the world until late 2020 when people just randomly started playing it, and it
like Friday Night Funkin' is literally
took over the world. It's such.
Yeah, it is. It is one popular game, or even make a different mod, or even character. Whereas this, so it's Woody, Tricky, Sky, or any mod you did in the creation.
To another small indie game called Fortnite. Fortnite was a game.
And then a bunch of children, bunch of people, and don't really start about 2022.
made by Epic Games where you had to build a base and protect it from zombies. It had a pretty small following, but it was a really respectable game, and I'm sure it will continue to have a positive community. Right? Okay, guys, we need a new idea for our game. What are your thoughts? Well, you know, I think maybe if we just focus on what we have at the moment and improve the features the game currently has, then we can continue to grow the amount of content and appeal of the game. Keith, you are a fucking idiot and you're fired. Jimmy, what about you? Jimmy. Oh, hey, yeah, sorry, I was just playing this game called PUBG.
The game is based off as PUBG, so yeah.
Fortnite Battle Royale exploded, and it wasn't just a regular amount of popular. No, it was.
But it's a catch. Fortnite, I'm gonna start a PUBG then. He has realistic and also realistic guns. However, then, Fortnite is actually a cartoony gun and also there's one more thing. They have the one ingredient. It's the emotes.
Was an irregular amount. This was the first time that I think literally everyone on Earth was playing the same game. While Battle Royale was a concept that had existed a long time before Fortnite, this is when it really took over. It was simple, last man standing wins, but Fortnite was different due to how accessible it was. The cartoony art style made it visually stand out from a lot of the bleak, realistic titles before it, and gameplay features such as building and breaking walls meant that every game was that much more interesting. In addition to this game had dances. These funny, awesome dances paired with the cartoony art style meant that this game was huge with kids. And obviously, as we know, if kid like thing is bad. Because of how huge this game became, it spread so fast. Wherever you went, it was Fortnite. YouTube was overrun with Fortnite clickbait free V-Buck giveaways. It was on the news, it was in movies, it was insane. Thank you. Consider subscribing for more jokes like this. With the huge amount of people playing and enjoying this game, there was another group called the Stop Having Fun Crew. Basically, there was a lot of people who really didn't like that this game was popular and refused to play it because of how bad a lot of the content made about this game was, which is stupid, yeah, but I can't really blame them. What I can blame them for, though, is just how much these guys shit on anybody that enjoyed this game. It's okay to not like a game, obviously, but just constantly hating on anybody that's having fun just sounds so boring. Oh, and I almost forgot, there's another group I like to call the criminals. Fortnite had a huge scam problem where people promote things like free V-Bucks generator or free V-Bucks giveaway, and because of the age of the large majority of players, they'd work.
Free V-Bucks generator. This looks legit. Okay, so it looks like I have to click this man's muscled chest. My username is Musy, and I play on Apple because you can do that. Okay, now if it says that I'm suspicious, I'm going to be really angry. When
a game becomes popular and a large amount of the audience is gullible children, sadly you're always going to get a bunch of people that abuse that for their own personal gain and create fake content. And unfortunately with Fortnite, those imposters stood out more than the genuine creators. You may notice that this is a very subtle segue into the next game. Among Us is freaking awesome. The story behind the huge rise in popularity of this game is really interesting to me, considering the game came out in 2018 and was pretty unknown until late 2020 when people just randomly started playing it and it took over the world. It's such a simple concept for a game, just find out who out of your friends is the big mean killer, which is why I think it became so popular. You didn't have to be good at games to enjoy this game. It was much more of a social experience, which I think is why it was so successful. The difference between Among Us and other extremely popular games is that this game wasn't really hated. It was more just kinda funny. Because of how popular Among Us was among, you guessed it, children, and how the characters were pretty much just glorified stick figures, there was so much weird content made from this game. Like, I'm not even gonna ask what this is. And the popularity got so bad that it was impossible to bring up Among Us seriously without the hysterical adjective sus, derived from suspicious, a cautious distrust of someone or something, to be used. Now, a secondary effect I've noticed from the Among Us virus is the arcade infestation. Ever since these stupid bean characters took over the world, my arcade experience has been ruined. Take a look at this. What do you notice in this image?
There's no Luigi model.
Yep, that's right. There is no Luigi plushie in sight. Luigi has been killed, and the lime green Among Us will not suffice. F tier. Okay, speedrun for games that did not have as huge of an effect, but are still worth mentioning. Go. Minecraft. Well, obviously Minecraft was and still is insanely popular. The only thing that really came from this was around 2014 to 2017, where everybody decided that they hated Minecraft and that it was the worst game ever made because of
it's nothing.
The
It's nothing, or or if it's nothing, or even like they get sick of it, play like actual Fortnite. This is before the actual Minecraft, before Fortnite is this, and then all the children goes to Fortnite. It's like an actual carrier for airport. But on 2022, there was PewDiePie, Swedish dude, and he plays Minecraft, and then revived the, a franchise again.
Oh yeah, of course. Nothing. This happens with a worrying amount of games that get popular, and I never really understand it. It'll get popular, people will like it, and as it continues to be popular, people will randomly start to hate it, and then eventually, when it's slightly less popular, everybody loves it again.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
While Five Nights at Freddy's wasn't as popular as these other games, it still had a pretty similar effects. This game was very much a YouTuber game, because when jumpscare happened, the guy in the top left goes, ah. But because this was one of the most popular horror games at the time, there was still a lot of people who disliked it for that reason. And just like Minecraft, as soon as it got a little less popular, everyone was just like, oh yeah, we love FNAF. We always loved FNAF. Yep, definitely, for sure. Pong.
It looks like, every single FNAF character or the FNAF fans, it's just like a FNAF on the Friday Night Freddy's or Freddy Fazbear. You put like a gun to him, like in the goddamn viewer. It says, you say like, you like FNAF, we like FNAF, and it doesn't like it, or the parents get murdered, or probably get murdered, everyone except get murdered, like every single children in the basement. Now don't worry, there's a lot of the people getting horny on 2018, before the Friday Nights at Freddy's games, there was a Freddy Fazbear, another game, is based off Friday Nights of anime. Ugh. It's based off. Hold on, let me think. It's a little bit anime with a mix of FNAF character. But instead, in the lore and the Five Nights at Freddy's, there was inside their children in the suits, correct? It's one degenerate scum made like imagine he's a degenerate scum, okay? And he was like, oh, I'm gonna make a actual kind of good game based off FNAF, or make them anime have big milkers and other stuff. And then, yeah, they made a game based off FNAF thing, or home, or whatever. They made actual 3D models of it. Yeah, I mean, right. There's freaking 3D models with it. And the CW people like go to berserk. It wants to actually chase the, Coca-Cola Quantum Pie,
You know how much I like Pong? 2 words. I don't. Like, what can you even do in this game? There's no skins, no battle pass, no nothing. And yet people eat this up like it's the greatest game ever made. And it doesn't even work. I keep dodging the bullets, but every time I do it, it just tells me I lost. Clearly the hitboxes or something are messed up, and the developers aren't updating it at all. Worst game of all time. Double F tier. So yeah, when stuff gets too popular, a lot of the time the good parts of it get ignored, and it turns into A, something to hate, or B, something to find funny. However, I think we can all agree that everybody loves mobile turn-based MMORPGs, which brings us to the sponsor of today's video.
Explodes. I kinda like that this dude explodes. But actual explodes is diarrhea sound of it. Well, two videos now.
Business is mistake.
I'm almost
We
there.
start with the manual system, so
Yay.
we never had any kind.
Backrooms. Backrooms not scary anymore.
What's up guys, it's PewDiePie and Gorilla Gaming here, back with another vlog. And I just want to show you this weird thing that I found. I can't really explain it, I just gotta show you. So if you look over here, there's this Silly creature.
Silly goofy.
What is this silly creature?
Silly goofy.
So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you... What's this? Banana peel? Oh goodness. I should avoid it so I don't slip. Here I go avoiding.
Oh
What the deuce? Oh, Jiminy Crickets. I seem to be in some sort of back rooms. Hang on, is that Lanky Kong? The back rooms are not scary anymore. I don't think it's a particularly controversial opinion that the backrooms have kind of been ruined by this teeny tiny thing called the internet. The mystery and interesting parts of this concept have been thrown to the side and replaced with generic scary monsters and loud noises, as well as there are weird backrooms games that just ruin the entire point of the concept, as well as bizarre kids videos about the backrooms. And while all this stuff has tainted the overall legacy of the backrooms, there is one exception that stands out on its own as an independent story. But Musy, you ask, what even is a bathrooms? Well, before I tell you about how much it sucks and is bad, I should probably give you a bit of backstory. This is why title. No, wait, hang on, I've messed it up, sorry, okay. This is why the backrooms are not scary anymore. In 2019, an anonymous user on requested people to send disquieting images that just feel off, and someone sent this. This image of an empty, piss-like room gained a lot of traction, and people started making up lore for this fictional area. Basically, if you're not careful, you can no-clip out of reality and end up in the Backrooms, where it's nothing but 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms, with the sound of fluorescent lights buzzing constantly. This on its own is a great concept. The whole vibe of liminal spaces isn't directly scary, but it isn't inviting either. So this idea of a pretty much infinite liminal space was intriguing to a lot of people, me included. And more people were getting interested in this concept because it was something that hadn't been done before, at least not at this level. However, to add to the horror factor of this concept, people started thinking of how they could incorporate some sort of danger to the backrooms. Yeah, it was basically impossible to escape, so the inherent danger was that you just die of dehydration or something, but it is meant to be scary. It's not just supposed to be this chill area where you just die slowly. I don't think anyone really settled on one specific monster that inhabited the backrooms, but they pretty much all shared the same characteristics. It just wandered around the backrooms just like you, and if it saw you, they politely told you to leave. However, as the backrooms fandom grew, people began adding to the concept, creating stuff like new levels and entities.
Oh no.
I really don't like the idea of there being different floors of the backrooms. When I think of the backrooms, I think of this: yellow walls, carpet, and buzzing lights. I don't think of the fucking moon. And while it makes sense for there to be some sort of entity in the backrooms to make it more horror-like, I feel like just one is fine. Don't have there be like a million different generic monsters. And here's your Musy tip of the day: if you're creating a monster for your creepypasta or whatever, don't do the smiling guy. Everyone has already done the smiling guy. This is not scary anymore. This is just some happy fella. How about scared guy? Make a monster that's scared of you. Or how about pensive Paul? Yep, he be thinking. As the backrooms following increased even more, people began making videos where they fell into the backrooms themselves. These varied in quality and style, some being incredibly well made and surreal looking, and some being not. And as well as videos, there were tons of backrooms games being created, mostly on this small indie website called Roblox. Now, when something gets popular, it always gains the attention of this group I like to call children. And because of this, it can kinda sorta get ruined. I mean, at this point, someone should make a video on how popular things get their legacy tainted by its popularity. I sure would watch it. I'm winking. You can't see me, but I'm winking. Now, out of pure curiosity, I wanted to play some of these backrooms games. Maybe I was wrong and they're actually really good. They're not. Okay, now this is scary. Why did I just get shot? Are they just waving to me? Farmer. Ow!
What?
Okay, the Backrooms game. Oh Jesus, this is scary. What is that? What the fuck is that? There's a thing there. I mean, I know there's a thing there. Do I have to go up to it? Do I have to say hello? There's just like some goop. That's interesting. Yeah, no, that's weird how that happened. I'm fine. This is fine. Oh, this is great. This is okay. This is fine. Oh. I fell through the world, okay? After playing these Backrooms games, I can confirm that loud noises are scary. But what I can also confirm is that the scariest part of the Backrooms are the Backrooms. Being stuck in this place is meant to be the scary part. There's not supposed to be random pipes that lead to new areas. This is just stupid. The Backrooms is not a McDonald's play area. However, let's be honest, at this point there probably is a McDonald's level. It's all just been turned into a generic horror genre for kids that's managed to invade every single corner of the internet. Now when I see this, it doesn't feel like a liminal space. It feels like I'd turn around and be confronted by Mickey Mouse saying, which door takes you to level 512, the gravy level. The whole point of the Backrooms being desolate and claustrophobic has been thrown to the side to appeal to the masses that assume horror has to include scary monsters and wacky tribulations. I don't know why it couldn't just be left alone in its perfect state and had to be turned into something it wasn't intended to be. However, at the start of the video, I mentioned an exception. Something that stood out on its own as a well thought out story that doesn't try to appeal to the masses and contains some of the best filmmaking and effects I've ever seen on this website. So when I found out that Gangnam Style in the Backrooms found footage only had 1.8k views, I was distraught. Luckily for me, there was another series that was almost as good, and that is Kane Pixel's Backrooms series.
Yeah.
On January 7th, 2022, Kane uploaded The Backrooms found footage. And in my opinion, this is probably the best horror short film on YouTube. I know that's a bold claim, but it's true. It's by far one of the most influential and impactful videos on the internet in general. And it makes complete sense as to why. The video is flawless. Every single scene is crafted with such precision, and there are no points where it feels lazy or cliche. Not to mention the insane visual effects and 3D rendering, which is almost lifelike and has only improved as he continued the series. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this video was so good and so loved that this series is still being continued to this day. Hang on, for some reason in my script it says that Kane is involved with making a Backrooms movie with A24. I mean, that can't be right, surely. Oh my god. Through this series, so many people have been inspired to make their own story based around this concept. And I continue to be impressed with what people are able to make. I struggled to make my intro skit, and that was in fucking Gary's mod. So, the Backrooms as a concept is still thriving after many years of being a thing. But due to how popular it's become, it's lost a bit of its charm. But I still love it as a concept. However, my issue with the Backrooms is why people who end up there don't just leave. Subscribe if you would simply leave the Backrooms and go to musystore.com to purchase a mug.